I still remember the exact moment my world tilted, the moment I realized that the woman I had planned to marry, my fiancée, Claire, was no longer the person I thought I knew. It started innocently enough. I had stayed home that Saturday night, buried in work, while Claire flew out for her bachelorette party in Las Vegas. I wasn't thrilled about missing the pre-wedding celebration, but I had deadlines, and she assured me she'd party responsibly and send photos. I opened my MacBook to finish a report, expecting the usual barrage of emails, notifications, and spreadsheets. Instead, I found something that made my stomach drop and my hands tremble. A notification popped up, FaceTime Live. It was from Claire. Confused, I clicked. What I saw was nothing short of shocking. Claire, dressed in glitter and sequins, was on a hotel bed surrounded by a group of friends laughing, but not at me, not innocently. She was leaning far too closely toward a man I didn't recognize. He had his arm around her waist, their faces inches apart, whispering, smiling. The video feed was choppy, but there was no denying it. They were kissing. I froze, the cursor hovering over the end call button. My heart pounded, my mind screamed. Was this real? Was I seeing what I thought I was seeing? I replayed the screen, enlarged it, hoping it was some terrible glitch, but it wasn't. Every movement, every laugh, every touch confirmed it. My fiancé was cheating. Live while I sat alone, hundreds of miles away. I shut the laptop slowly, my hands shaking. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment we had shared, every promise, every whispered forever. Every memory now carried the shadow of betrayal. Morning came, harsh and unrelenting. Claire was flying back home, oblivious to the storm that had erupted in my chest. I had to decide what to do. Confrontation? Public humiliation? Revenge? I chose consequences. When she walked through the front door, bags in hand and a bright, cheerful smile, I met her in the living room. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I simply handed her my MacBook, still open to the recording I had captured. Explain this, I said, my voice steady. Her smile faltered, eyes widening. Jake, I don't. I cut her off. I saw everything. Every laugh, every kiss, every touch. You cheated at your bachelorette party. The color drained from her face. Jake, I didn't mean. I don't want excuses. I don't want apologies, I said. I want consequences. You're going to face what happens when you betray someone you promised to spend your life with. She tried to protest, tried to reason, but I was calm now, unshakable. The betrayal had given me clarity. First, I made her pack. Every item she had brought for the wedding, every gift she had planned, every personal belonging that reminded me of the life we were supposed to build together, packed into boxes. I called a friend to help her move into a short-term rental. She was stunned, speechless, realizing that the comfort she expected, the warm welcome, the pre-wedding excitement, had evaporated overnight. Next, I called her parents. I didn't want to be cruel, but they had a right to know. I explained the situation calmly, showing them the evidence. There were tears, disbelief, and anger. Her parents, who had once been excited about the wedding, were shocked to learn their daughter's behavior. They promised to handle things on their end, but I could tell the disappointment was deep. Then came the financial consequences. Claire had spent months planning this wedding, charging lavish hotel suites, limousine rides, and expensive parties to our joint account. I froze all accounts, requested statements, and made sure every expense tied to the bachelorette party, especially the night she had cheated, was accounted for. She realized quickly that her fun had a price far higher than she expected, and she couldn't hide behind any illusions of entitlement. By the next evening, the confrontation escalated legally. I contacted our wedding planner, explained the situation, and canceled the bookings. The planners, sympathetic but professional, ensured that deposits would be non-refundable. But the extravagant wedding Claire had envisioned was now impossible. She couldn't blame me. She had caused it. Finally, I told her directly, "You wanted to cheat. You wanted to lie. You wanted to betray the person who trusted you completely. Now you face the consequences. No wedding, no celebration, and no illusions about what happens when trust is broken." She sat quietly, broken, realizing that every attempt to manipulate the situation had failed. The smug confidence of last night's laughter was gone, replaced with shame, regret, and fear. Weeks later, the divorce process began. Claire's behavior, captured on video and corroborated by friends who had witnessed parts of her actions, left no room for negotiation. I handled everything efficiently, calmly, and legally. She tried to negotiate custody of our shared pets and shared possessions, but I insisted on fairness. No favoritism, no vindictiveness. The aftermath was painful, but empowering. I rebuilt my life on my own terms, free from lies and betrayal. I realized that betrayal is a brutal teacher, but one that gives clarity. I no longer doubted who I was, what I deserved, or how to protect myself from manipulation. Months later, I met someone new, someone honest, kind, and loyal. The relationship was slower, more thoughtful, built on genuine trust. Every day I reminded myself of the lessons learned from Claire. Trust cannot be given blindly. Love must be earned every day, and betrayal should never be tolerated. Sometimes, I hear about Claire, how she struggled with her reputation after the Bachelorette scandal, how friends turned away, and how she eventually had to confront the consequences of her choices. I don't revel in her misery, but I feel a quiet satisfaction knowing that betrayal carries its own price, and justice sometimes doesn't require anger. It only requires action. The MacBook? I keep it in a drawer, untouched. A reminder that even in the darkest moments, clarity and calmness allow you to face betrayal head-on. I caught her cheating live, yes, but the real victory wasn't witnessing her lie. It was the way I responded with foresight, dignity, and decisive action. In the end, Claire faced the consequences of her choices, not because I wanted revenge, but because honesty, integrity, and self-respect demand it. And for the first time in years, I felt free, safe, and certain that the life I rebuild will be mine alone, untarnished by deceit.